Now you can probably hear me. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I don't know why, but for some reason I was muted. And I didn't see it. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. That would be pretty cool. I wasn't able to wait the 5 minutes this time, so we're gonna wait a little bit before we get to the topic. Turn on my sunshine. It's a lamp. It's a lamp. Shines light. I like the window portion better though. That's pretty cool. I like that. Ooh. If we get a fan, then it'll make waves. Like that. And I don't think anybody cares. You gotta have a decent background though, where people get weird. They do. Notice it's got clouds and stuff in it too. Yeah. It's just a piece of cloth I got from Joanne Fabric for $12 or whatever. There's that 3-minute mark. Let's do it. I know a lot of people probably aren't going to show up because they're in a noon meeting, but I didn't feel like waiting. If I would have waited till after a noon meeting, I wouldn't get this done until 4 o'clock my time. So another 4 hours. All right. Neither dependence nor self-sufficiency. That's from 12 by 12, page 115. Dependence upon other people for who and what we are. It would be step 12. Yay. Yay, step 12. Did you? How much time? Just seeing where this matches up while you're answering that. Okay. Yeah, let us know how much time. Hi, Chris. Good to see you. Good to see you, Chris. I love you, brother. We're just getting started. All right. I'm going to start on 114 because I want it. So. Wow, 9 years. Good job, Patricia. So 9 years yesterday. Don't be surprised if I put that in the group. You should announce that stuff in the group so we can celebrate with you. You're part of our group. Congratulations, honey. I'm very, very happy for you. Made my day. So enjoy it today too. You know, when it comes to those, take a week. Why not? But it has to have happened already. All right. Like most people, we found that we can take our big lumps as they come. We can. We're actually pretty good at tackling those bigger problems, aren't we? It's the small ones we suck at. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. 9 years is a long, long time. I get what you're saying. I hear you. It's my pleasure too. And I feel obligated. I do. Obligation is not a bad word. I don't know why people think it is, but it's not. It's actually, the word actually used to be used as like a compliment for intention and things like that. Now we take it as something nasty because that's how we are. But also, like others, we often discover a greater challenge in the lesser and more continuous problems of life. So when I tell you the little things kill, I ain't kidding. The little things kill. It's we let the we let it slide by because it's small, because it's minute, or because we don't wanna. We're having a problem in our 3 o'clock group right now. Nobody really just wants to say the right answer. I'm getting ready to say it. I wanted to say something yesterday, but I couldn't. I had a lot of anxiety. My cat was missing. And when one of my animals is missing, I don't give a darn about anything else. I'm going to find my animal. And then I will continue on. I don't know why, but I flip out when I can't find my cats. We looked for them for hours. Turns out it was in the damn house. Found it at an even greater hiding spot. I didn't do a very good job of letting go and letting God. Let's put it that way. All right. Our answer is still more spiritual development. Yeah, me too, Chris. All I could think is he got out, he's stuck up in a tree, crying for his dad, scared as fuck. There's hawks around, there's falcons around here. They will snag his ass. So yeah, I what if the heck out of it. I bludgeoned it with what ifs. Only by this means can we improve our chances for real, happy, and useful living. As we grow spiritually, we find that our old attitudes towards our instincts need to undergo drastic revisions. Like not freaking out when you lose your cat. That's not going to happen. That's not going to change. It's just not. Our desires. Thank you, Chris. See, it's okay to have these things in your life. It doesn't make you a bad person. Do you know what? Do you know what Chris just did? Okay, and because he's practiced at this. First of all, he was listening. I know that he was listening. By the way, he said what he said. Do what you want to do. You know what he did? He gave me permission to be me. Thank you, Chris. And that's exactly why Chris is a friend of mine. Okay? But at the same time, if I'm going the wrong way, Chris is going to say something. Because he loves me. Because he loves me. And I know that. And guess what? It's okay for two men to love each other. In fact, I feel bad for people that don't find love. I really do. Because, wow, it's amazing. It's amazing stuff. Our desires for emotional security and wealth, for personal prestige and power, for romance and for family satisfactions, all these have to be tempered and redirected. We have learned that the satisfaction of instincts cannot be the sole end aim of our lives. If we place instincts first, we have got the cart before the horse. We shall be pulled backward into disillusionment. Woo. And disillusionment is a trick. That's disillusionment. That's where your disease hides. It's where it does push-ups. But when we're willing to place spiritual growth first, then and only then do we have a real chance. Okay? We work on our spiritual malady. Yesterday, and I was wondering if and when this was going to happen. Somebody approached me that was non-AA, non-program, but they were working on a program with their anger and some of the things like that. And we had been through some things, and they were making amends with me. They didn't realize it was an amends. But in my book, it's called an amends. That may happen every now and again, where I accidentally get muted. Anyway, and what we were talking, and I was telling just like you, I found myself with a spiritual malady, and I found that if I worked on that spiritual malady, everything else falls into place. And this person's religious, so they understood that. And I'm just happy to see that they've become aware of what is going on and they're moving forward. It's a relief for me. Okay? I pray for this person all the time because I love them. Okay? After we come into AA, if we go on growing, our attitudes and action towards security, emotional security, and financial security commence to change profoundly. Our demand, I'm going to tell you something. You get to a point where you pretty much solve your problems on your own. Because they become automatic, even those small ones. Now, does that mean every single one? No. And that's what our people are there for. But for the most part, it's going to be you and God working out your problems. By the time you get to step 12, you've been given all the tools that you need. Okay? But there's going to be sometimes where you forget about that tool and you need to be reminded. And there's nothing wrong with that either. That's why we are not all sick on the same day. Day-to-time program. Okay? Like with my 3 o'clock group yesterday, I couldn't say anything. My PTSD would have just ripped people's asses apart. It's all it would have done. And that would not solve a problem. Today, I'm doing much better. I can see the problem for what it is. And now I can handle it appropriately. And I'll tell you the problem. There's a confrontation that needs to be made, and nobody really wants to do it because somebody is very, very angry, even to a point where I'll come over there and roll you. And I don't buy that shit. Shit don't scare me. Roll on over here, dude. You're just going to find the police. That's all you're going to find. Okay? But see, I've been that angry dude before. And I know how to approach this. But yesterday, I would have I wouldn't have been able to do it. And I had to accept that. And that was really hard because it's my home group. These are people I care about. There's division happening. I know how to solve this problem. Now people are like, but should we ban them? I'm like, we can't ban them. No. Banning is not the answer. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. We cannot ban somebody from an AA meeting. You cannot do that. If they're showing up nude or what, yeah, then that's something different. Okay? But we deal with anger all the time. But this isn't anger, it's rage. We know it's rage. And just like me, he needs to be put away for a couple months to get his head on straight, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right? Didn't Chris just say, do what you want to do? I had to be separated from my family for a little bit. I'm going to tell you what, it sucked. But I did it. I did it. It had to be done. Though we sometimes, our demand for emotional security for our own way had constantly thrown us into unworkable relationships with other people. Though we were sometimes quite unconscious of this, the result had been the same. Either we had tried to play God and dominate those about us, or we had insisted on being overdependent upon them. Where people had temporarily let us run their lives as though they were still children, we had felt very happy and secure ourselves. But when they finally resisted or ran away, we were bitterly hurt and disappointed. We blamed them, being quite unable to see that our unreasonable demands had been the cause. Yeah. And we push people away. See, when the big book says that we are dangerously antisocial, it's not kidding around. When you are antisocial, you become a dangerous person no matter who you are. Isolation. Why do you think that jails isolate people? Have you ever watch one of those shows where somebody's been in isolation for 28 days or 30 days or even 2 weeks? That can fuck somebody up. And I know because I've seen it, because I've been there. Actually, I have been in ISO before. See, when you're locked up in the place and you get angry there, they don't sit down and talk to you. No, they throw you in an isolation room. If you're in a place and you don't take your meds, isolation. Why do you think people are so scared? I still fear it. I still fear the fact that I may be so crazy that one day they're going to put me away again against my will. I have that fear. And it's a healthy fear. So, all right, there's some more in As Bill Sees It here. Let's read from it and kind of wrap it up. I don't remember getting to this part, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read it so we can cover it. So, when we insisted, like infants, that people protect and take care of us or that the world owed us a living, then the result was unfortunate. We didn't cover this. That's okay. The people we most loved often pushed us aside or perhaps deserted us entirely. Our disillusionment was hard to bear. Yes, that does happen, but it usually happens after a time. It took my parents, I don't know, like 2 years. They didn't tolerate it for very long. We failed to see that, though adult in years, we were still behaving childishly, trying to turn to everybody, friends, wives, husbands, even the world itself, into protective parents. We refuse to learn that the overdependence upon people is unsuccessful because all people are fallible, and even the best of them will sometimes let us down, especially when our demands for attention become unreasonable. Okay? The thing is, we know that, and it's a setup. It is a setup to allow me to continue being angry. It's a setup to allow me to continue with my crappy behavior. It gives me a reason to drink. It gives me a reason to drug. It gives me a reason to watch porn. It gives me a reason to go gambling. It gives me all these different reasons. Okay? We aren't trying to get power, prestige, and all these things from these people. We're trying to provide excuses for our own behavior. It's that it is not any more than that. Keep it simple. But now we are on a different basis. The basis of trusting and relying upon God. We trust infinite God rather than our finite selves? Just to the extent that we do as we think he would have us do and humbly rely on him, does he enable us to match calamity with serenity? And I get to do that all the time. Right? Not yesterday during the cat, but now it doesn't matter really what problem comes across. I can usually handle it. Okay, did it again. So, big or small, it doesn't matter. I can usually handle it. Okay. But, and here's the key, no matter the size of the problem, no matter the size of the problem, always ask God for help. I don't care how small the problem. I don't care how small you think it is. Okay? You're human. Ask God for help. Or you may skimp on something like making sure, maybe you're solving it, and you forgot to take somebody into account. Ask God for help, no matter what it is. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out and have a day. Bye-bye.